Okay, so I've given you few questions to discuss last week, and some of you has given me some of the answers. Okay, so I can just look at the answers now. Um, okay, so group Zafran ya, yang group Zafran, soalan pertama saya tanya apa tu database. Okay kan? Soalan pertama adalah what is database? So dia jawab, database is where you store all of the data in the computer system. So it's very brief. That's all you need to know. Database is where you store all of the data in computer system. Data dan computer system mesti ada. Okay, so itu maksud dia. Okay, so that is the answer. Okay, question 2, define what is database management system. Okay, kita tengok orang lain pula, apa pula jawapan orang lain. Kita tengok dekat Darshini pula. Apa Darshini? Darshini seorang ya yang hantar mula-mula tu. Okay, kita ambil Firial. Umaira kan? Okay, okay. Database is a place where data or information is stored in a system. Also is acceptable, but the more acceptable answer is always this one. Database is where you store all of the data in the computer system. So remember that. Database is where you store all of the data in the computer system. But your answer also, if I'm the marker, I'll give you a full mark. Okay? Group Filza dengan siapa ya? Sailesh, Reina, and Firza. I will give you full mark also. Okay, it's also acceptable. Anything to do with data system means it's a full system means it has macam dia ada semua benda dalam tu tadi, dia boleh proses dan bagi you data. Itu maksud system. Okay, yang tu pun is acceptable also. Okay, so we see what is the Reina's answer for the second one. And Shailesh, Reina, their answer is question number 2 is define what is database management system. Okay, it's a type of software that manages storage and flow of the data in the system. Okay, they use system and then they say it manages the data in the system. Software that manages is a software that manages storage and flow of the in the system of the data system. Okay, so here meanwhile, for Zafran, he said database management system is a program to manage data to be stored in database. Okay, can be acceptable, but I accept more the second question, the answer, because it's a type of software. It's a software. Actually, you can software a software that manages storage and flow of the data in the system. That's what we want. You need the flow. We need it input, output, everything we need. Okay, we need the data out. Okay, so I accept that, and even the second group also is acceptable. Okay, but I accept more the second one because it's a software that manages storage and the flow of the data in a system. Okay, so what is the other answer? Database management system is a program to manage, okay, it's a program or it's a software to manage data to be stored in the database. Okay, acceptable, but the second one is more acceptable. Okay, we look at who else given me any other answer. Kita pergi kepada Hairul Adib punya soalan dengan Britney. Okay, jawapan dia pula, a database management system is a collection of programs that manages the database structure and controls access to the data stored in the database. This is more like real full-scale answer. Okay, it's supposed to be like that, but whatever answer you have given me just now also is acceptable. You see, a database management system is a collection of programs that manages the database structures and controls access to the data stored in the database. So overall, it's a system that manages the data. You have all that in a computer system, in the database, I will give you full mark. Okay, so we go to the second question, who's DBA? A DBA, a database administrator. DBA is the information technician responsible for directing or performing all activities related to maintaining a successful database environment. So these people are more to the user. Okay, they are more to the user. So they are responsible for directing or performing all activities. So if the client complain they have any issue at the user side, so this DBA, okay, a database administrator will help them out. They will have a dummy side, okay, so they will help them out. Okay, so I accept that answer also. So what else answer is available from any other groups? Kita tengok Alia, Sharifah, Najiha. Okay, jawapan dia pula a person who manage, maintain. This is more short. A person who manage, maintain and secure data in one or more data systems so that user can perform analysis of a business. Okay, itu yang saya cakap. They are nearer to the user. This DBA, nanti kan you orang pun boleh dapat kerja macam ni. You orang pun boleh jadi DBA tau. Okay, a lot of our students are doing this type of job. Okay, and then I ask you list 10 application of DBMS in real life. So we see what are the real life application. Okay, this group, Alias group has given me library management system. Charles has given me banking and university. Who's that? Safran and Adib Omar, they have given me Lazada, Maybank to you. Okay, so all these are acceptable. Okay, so and the last, okay, list at least 3 advantages of file processing system, disadvantages of file processing system, and 3 advantages of DBMS. So you all know file processing system is a manual system. Okay, it's a manual system where you need pen and paper and you just need to draw a column and row. Okay, so I asked you to give me the disadvantages of the file processing and the advantage of DBMS compared to that. So we see what is the answer. We come out with a new jawapan dia. Kita tengok Suhasan punya jawapan. Okay, Suhasan, your answer was okay, 3 advantages, 3 disadvantages. They have given me slow access time. Yes, definitely it's slow. File processing is slow. So if I ask you to find Suhasan's address, if I ask to find Suhasan's children, if I ask to find Suhasan's salary, if I ask to find maybe Suhasan's other properties. So if manual filing, you have to go around and find for it. So it is a slow access time. And the presence of redundant data. That means let's say they have 7 books of recording. Then in these 7 books, there will be Suhasan in first book, there will be Suhasan in second book, there will be Suhasan in third book. So that is what we call as presence of redundant data, repetition of data. Okay, and then inconsistent data. So the data maybe the data in 1 and maybe the data in 3 is not consistent. So they have given me 3 disadvantages. Okay, it's acceptable disadvantages. So for advantage, we open another class file. We go to Tenarasen's. In this one, you take picture. Okay. Oh, I cannot read yours. Okay, never mind. I close. So next time save in PDF. Okay, we go to Suyuf. I buka Suyuf punya file. Okay. Suyuf, okay, what you have given me for the third one, 3 advantages of DBMS. Okay, DBMS kita tahu dia adalah tempat storage untuk data. Dia adalah software for it's a database management system. It's a software that manages data in database. Okay, so what is the advantages? Better data transferring, better data integration, faster data access. So whatever disadvantage on filing process, and now it became a disadvantage. Okay, we see someone else answer. Okay, there is also, whose one is this? Zafran. Jawapan dia bagi improve data sharing. Yeah, definitely improve data sharing, improve data security, better data integration. This three is really acceptable. Disadvantage, she never do it properly, but okay, data security, you have to explain on that. Okay, and then on Silage, Arena, and Firia, improved data security, improved data sharing, improved decision making. Okay, all these are acceptable. Okay, and finally, and also Sharifa, they have given me security optimization and backup and recovery control, allowing for simultaneous access. Okay, so all these are acceptable answers. Whatever you think is appropriate, you can write it down. Okay, and then last week I stopped at centralized and distributed database architecture. Okay, so when it comes to centralized, state three difference between centralized and distributed database architecture. So when it comes to centralized, a database in which all data is stored on a single device, okay, a mobile phone or computer, for example, can serve as the central device. Okay, that's what given by Sharifa punya group. Okay, it has a higher level of data integrity and provides a complete user view. Users are unable to access the database if the central server fails because it's many users connect to one database that is centralized. So one database had problem, the others all will be down. But meanwhile, distributed, we look at distributed, a database that is made up of two or more. So and is connected. Database distributed is few databases connected to a network. Okay, and when one is uh, spoiled, failed, the other one can be used. Okay, so they can be in any location. Okay, these distributed databases, even you have four databases, it could be in any location. So one fail, one can take over. This distributed is used for large server kind of database like Lazada, like Shopee, AirAsia, because um, they can't afford any downtime. Okay, so like centralized is mainly for organization like university, like in polytechnic, like I told you, SPMP, we use a server system, but we have backup. And then it could be like in companies, okay, like Intel, Job Bill, okay, so they will use centralized. So you should know when to use centralized and when to use distributed. Okay, so that's what exercise I've given you last week. Okay, so we have covered everything today. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the screen now. So just now I couldn't able to share. Okay, anyone? Tenarasan. Okay, but you came in ready, right, just now? How many of you having data problem? Tenarasan, why so many time you are in and out?
My internet is very low, madam.
Very slow. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so I'm going to teach you on today's topic. Okay, so this was the answers for yes that you all have shared to me, but the other three questions I never give you answer. I mean, I never write it down. Okay, so before that, we see what we have done last week. Okay, so what where I stopped? I stopped at database architecture, that is centralized and also distributed. So as I told you, centralized is LAN one with internet connection, same like distributed, but centralized centralized, it has few clients and shared one database. Meanwhile, distributed with the cloud, you share few databases. So one failure will not down the system. Meanwhile, the centralized one, if you don't do backup, one failure will make the whole database system down. Okay, we had experienced that, but luckily we have backup, as I told you. So like a centralized used for institution, organization, and like distributed users for Lazada, banks. Okay, banks, they can't afford any downtime. Okay, and then Shopee and Asia Booking and so many other things, Amazon. Okay, so that's where I covered with you. And we also talked about a traditional file system and also DBMS system. That's what we talked about, last week. We talked about what is database. We talked about what is database. Okay, we talked about what is database. Okay, we talk about what is database, and then we compare with traditional filing system. Okay, and then we had that I asked you to give me three disadvantages. Just now you have already given me. And also we talked about database management system, and I asked you to give three advantages, and have also given me. And then I asked you to compare what is centralized and what is distributed. You have given me in a nice way. Your answers, really, I appreciate your answers. It was really good. Okay, so I'll be going on to second part, that will be on logical and understand data model. Okay, understand data model. So DBMS, so now we are going into DBMS, where you have to understand the data model. So there are three scheme architecture. Earlier we discussed about, last week we discussed about the generic database architecture, that is distributed and centralized. Today we are going to discuss on the data model, where we have three scheme architecture of DBMS. We have external view, we have conceptual and internal level. Okay, so we will look at the first one. Okay, this is the architecture. Okay, before that I show you, this is the architecture. Can you see that? Can you see that? This is the three scheme architecture of DBMS. Okay, this is the database model. It is divided into three scheme architecture of database. So first is the external model. Internal level. Internal level, we called it also as physical level. Internal level, we also called it as physical level. Okay, and then we have conceptual level. We also call it as logic level. And we have external level. Okay, this is user level. So we have physical, that is internal level. Physical means what? Whatever your computer, your laptop, your server, and then your storage. Okay, you see where your data is, your data. Storage. Storage is what we call as internal or physical level. You should know this. This is called as a physical level. Okay. And then this is a conceptual, that is the logic level. Okay, conceptual scheme. So we have three scheme. So we have internal scheme, we have conceptual scheme, and we have external level. Okay, and external level, that is external view too, like your SPMP view. Okay, whatever view you can see in SPMP, that is the external level that you can see. Okay, so it's for the end user, that is the external level. So these are the three scheme architecture in DBMS. Okay, so the three scheme, why do we have this three scheme? Because the three scheme architecture is also called as ANSI Spark. They have a standard, you see. You can't simply develop any networking programs. They use standard architecture. Okay, it called as American National Standard Institute Standards Planning and Requirement Committee. So they already come up with that. That's the short form of ANSI or Spark. Okay, architecture or three level architecture. So they only come out, the three-level architecture is actually planned by this ANSI Spark. Okay, so we will be going into this three scheme architecture. This framework is used to describe the structure of specific database system. Okay, it's also used to separate the three scheme architecture is also used to separate the user application and the physical application. That's why I told you the internal level is the physical application and external level is the user application. Okay, So you should know that, and that's why they said the three scheme architecture is also used to separate the user application and the physical. If the user can connect to the stored data, they can manipulate the data. So we don't want, they can change the price. Okay, let's say you want to buy something in Lazada, it costs 200,000. Okay, I mean, not 200, 200 ringgit, you can't afford. So as a user, what you do, if you can go to the store database, what you will do, you will change the price to 20 ringgit. So what will happen? Huh? The system that do not have any authentication. It's very not secure. Okay, so that's why they come up with this architecture. That's why they have these three schemes architecture where they separate the internal level and the external level. The internal level is called as physical level, the external level is called as user level. Okay, you see, the three scheme architecture is also used to separate the user application and physical database. Okay, so in between that, you can see you have a conceptual scheme. Okay, so let me put it here. Okay, wait. I can also save. Wait, I think I've done so that I can conteng here. If I save here as a PDF, I can conteng. Class, are you all okay? Do you all understand or not?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes, Alia. No one is sleeping. Anyone sleeping? Had your lunch, Anna? Iman? Not yet. Why? Had late breakfast. Okay. Ada kelas pagi tadi? Ada. Penuh tak jadual? Untuk hari Selasa ni penuh tak jadual? Tiga lah. Ada rehat tak in between? Tak ada? Ada? Oh, itu sajalah dari pagi hari ni. Okay, so yang inilah yang saya bagi tahu ya. Okay, kalau saya masuk dalam PDF view, saya boleh conteng kat sini lah. Sebab tu saya nak masuk dekat sini. Okay, so you pun boleh nampak lah. So I letak tarik. Okay. I letak tarik nanti I lupa. So I cover untuk you. Let me have a nice position. Then only I can write it properly. Okay. So dia follow seperti yang saya bagi tahu, dia follow ANSI. It follows ANSI American. I don't know why I cannot write here. Wait, let me rectify my issues first. I cannot write on top. Okay, let me check. Right? Okay. Okay, let me conteng sikit. Boleh tak? Boleh dah. So ni ANSI Spark lah. So ni adalah standard tau. Standard untuk developkan DBMS. Okay. Three scheme architecture. American National Standard. Mereka yang keluarkan yang inilah. Okay. Mereka yang keluarkan ni. Seperti yang saya bagi tahu, yang ini pun adalah physical layer. Physical, what is that? Physical, okay, physical level lah. We also call it as physical level. Kenapa kita panggil dia physical level? Sebab kita ada database storage. So server semua kita akan ada dekat sini. Okay, kita akan ada server PC, bukan PC lah, server lah, data server semua akan ada dekat sini. Okay, so data akan store dalam physical level ni. kita panggil dia internal level. Okay. Kemudian kita ada conceptual, yang ini kita panggil juga sebagai logical level. Okay, so dua nama, so jangan confuse lah. Kita akan ada dua nama ni. Lepas tu kita akan ada user level. User level. So, kenapa kita ada di BMS 3 level architecture ni? Sebab kita tak mau user ni terus pergi manipulate data dekat sini. Kita tak mau. Kita tak mau manipulate data user. We don't want, we don't want, we don't want user to manipulate the data. So gaji you katakan user gaji dia adalah 2,000, dia boleh masuk ke database accounts department dia, dia pergi tukar gaji dia kepada 20,000. So that is not, don't have security, you don't have consistency. So all that you don't have. So that's why they came out with a system by ANSI and Spark. They separate it into 3 levels. Okay. So now we will look at the first level, that is the external view. So this is the external view. You know, external view is what you can see, like what the day I asked Ishad, right? Shared with me the SPMP. What is your view and my view? Okay. So my view and your view is different, but we are also, both of us are external level. We are user level. Okay, we are user level. We are not database level. We can't extract the raw data. I can't extract the raw data. Even you can't extract the raw data. Okay, so that is where the external level is. So remember, this one all very famous questions. Minggu ni ada quiz tau. Okay, so the external level is the nearest level to the user. It represents a user's view. Okay, so it represents user's view. You can see, it is the nearest to the user. It's also represent the user's view, like SPMP. You show me your view and I show you my view. So it is in the external level. Whatever you can access, like you can access Lazada, you can access Shopee. So that is your external level. Okay, that's all you can see. Okay. At the external level, a database contains several schemes that sometimes called as sub-scheme. I think no need all this, but you should know that this is very important. The rest you want to read, you just read it. Okay. The external level is the nearest level to the users. It represents a user's view towards a database, but you won't know what is inside the database. What is in the database? But you know what you can access through your database, because that view shows you. Like you can do daftar, you can do your kamsis, okay? Apa lagi you boleh buat? You boleh check results you, okay? Macam saya boleh masuk ke dalam HCP, saya boleh masuk ke dalam peperiksaan IFRP, daftar, semua itu view saya. Okay, that is my view that was given to me. Okay, okay. The second part, the most important part, is actually logical level. What is logical level? You don't need to think so much. Okay, if you see even here, kalau you tengok dia, dia jadi apa? Dia jadi sebagai apa? Perantaraan. Okay, dia menjadi perantaraan di antara user level dengan physical level, external and internal level. Okay, so conceptual. Itulah conceptual level ataupun logical level. Okay, so macam mana? Sebab user tak boleh masuk ke dalam database. Okay, user kita tak bagi dia masuk database, tapi dia nak data. Macam mana? Semua tu boleh dilakukan dengan menggunakan conceptual scheme. Okay, sebab tu kita, yang ni conceptual scheme ni dia menjadi perantaraan di antara user level and physical level. Okay, dia boleh dapatkan data untuk user, dan kalau ada apa-apa perubahan, query apa-apa user nak, kita boleh query daripada conceptual scheme. Okay, kita lihat lagi apa dia conceptual scheme. Okay, conceptual level is a central layer between external and internal, that is the user level and physical level. It represents logical structure for the whole database as being viewed by the DBA. So if you are a database administrator, the thing that you can view as being viewed. So the logical structure is that viewed by DBA. Even the DBA, they can't touch the raw data. Okay, they can do query, they can do everything, but they also can't touch the database, the raw data. They cannot touch they cannot go into the physical layer. Okay, the physical layer is the programmer, database programmer only can do that. Okay, they will program it, they will put in all the data. Okay, so the DBA, they will only um, under the logical level, whatever user wants query, so it will be like a middleman, give you data from whatever you want. Okay, so the conceptual scheme describe the design of database at the conceptual level. Okay, conceptual level is also known as logical. Why logical? Because you're going to do a lot of query on logical view. Logical, you're going to use a lot of logical things to get the data. Okay, uh, okay, structures of the whole database. Okay, programmers and database administrator work at this level. Okay, programmers and database administrators, they will divide their job. Okay, there are developer. Okay, okay, database developer is the one who develop and deal with the physical level. Programmer and database administrator, they work at the logical level. Okay, or we call it as conceptual level. Okay, what else? The conceptual level is a way of describing what data is stored within the whole database and how the data is interrelated. So the conceptual level will show you how the whole thing is structured, okay, and how the data is interrelated. Even when you are working at DBA, you can see how is it interrelated. Okay, so that is database. What else we can see from here? Wait, there's something important. Wait, data stored in database describe. Mm, okay, so that is the most important thing. So you can bring out the data as what you want. It represents logical structure. So any questions so far before I go to the internal or physical level? Okay, we have internal or physical level. The internal level is the nearest level to database. Okay, that is what we call as physical level also. Okay, it's also known as physical scheme or physical level, nearest level to database. It represents data structure physical implementation in database. Okay, the internal level as an internal scheme which describe the physical, the repetition, okay, uses the physical data model used to define that how the data will be stored in a block. Okay, so when it comes to physical is how data is stored in a data is stored. Okay, that is physical. Physical is how data is stored. Conceptual describe the whole database and how the data are related. Okay, this is what you should know. Conceptual, how uh, how the data is stored within the whole database and how the data is interrelated. And it is the connection between central layer between the user and also the physical layer. Okay, and finally, and lastly, the user level, it represents the user's view towards database. Okay, so that is the three scheme architecture model that we will be using. Okay, okay, so that is one. And you have any question on this class? You have any question? You hear silent means you understand or you don't understand. Is it okay? So we have three schemes. Okay, Nurul, tell me one level between one level of the scheme. Nurul, Nurul, are you there?
Logical level.
Okay, logical level dia kat mana? Kat bawah ke atas ke tengah?
Tengah.
Tengah. Okay, bagus. Darshini, you give me one level. Darshini? Dashini, can you hear me? Oh, can I type? Can Dashini, can. You can type. Faster type. Okay, what's your answer? Wow, so long to type, Dashini. Faster type. I want to call different people already. Can anyone can help Dashini? We call Ahmad Shafiq. Shafiq.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me there was one level, logical level is given by Nurul. Second level,
User level.
okay, user level, user level. Okay, user level, what we see, our view, tatapan kita lah, tatapan sebagai pengguna. Okay, and then the last one, who can give me? So we already have user level, we already have logical level. So this user level we called as external level also. Remember that user and external level is the same. Logical and conceptual level is the same. And the last one, what is that?
Physical level.
Yes, last one is the physical level. So user level is what user can see. Okay. Conceptual is like it's in between the external and also the internal level where it connects, it shows the data, the whole system of the database management system is shown by the conceptual and it shows the relationship between the data. That is the conceptual or logical level. So you can do query, you can input data, I mean you can query the data. Query the data mean you can extract whatever data you want through this conceptual, logical or conceptual level. And finally is the physical level, where and how you store the data in the server, in which type, what type you store the data. Okay, so that was overall the physical data model. So this is how about ANSI. This is what we talk so long. This is what we talk so long. This is about ANSI, Spark architecture or tree-level architectures. Either one. If they ask you to draw Spark architecture, you draw the Spark of tree-level architecture. It's the same. Okay, this is the architecture which is approved by ANSI Spark. Okay, so they don't let user directly manipulate your data. Okay, because there can be that it can spoil the whole system. There's no point of having DBMS if you do that. Okay, and then we are going into the last part. I mean, not last part lah. We have client server architecture of DBMS. Okay, database server is a software which runs on the server computer to provide database service to the database client. So you know, normally the database you also can have desktop base. Like mine, the XAMPP that I'm going to show you is a desktop base. Okay, but mostly database management system will be server computer. Database server is a software which runs on the server computer to provide database services to the database client. Okay, so client presents the user interface and process application. Okay, like you use SPMP, I use SPMP. What do I have? As a client, I am a client for SPMP. You are also a client for SPMP. What you have? You use either phone, you use your desktop, you use your laptop, you can use your MacBook or any devices that can connect to that server. Okay, so that is client and I am the client, so I can use any devices which could interface me to the database server. Okay, and meanwhile, what is server? Computer or PC mainframe that provides a needed service to the client, holds database and DBMS. Okay, as I told you, we have ICT department. They have their server mainframe. They have mainframe. We have mainframe here, which could hold the entire SPMP database. Okay, so that is the server. So we are a client, so we can access. Even you can access now. Some of you can access. I think most of you can access your SPMP through your phone, right? So that is also a workstation. I can access from my PC. Okay, so that is client server connections. Okay, and what is this? The function of client and server. What will be the function of client? Present and manages the user interface. Server accepts and process data requests. So definitely, what is the main purpose of the data? Give you what you want. You are as a client, the server give you what you want. Okay, the server should give you, should give the client what they want. Okay, so as I said, if I want to search for Reina Grace, I only need to know Reina Grace. I no need to know her number because I have that facility to say search. I have a partial search. So I put Reina Grace, I put Grace, I will have 10 Grace there. So I choose whom I want. Okay, so that is given because I have a database in ICT department. We have a server. So they will give you, the data is already been inputted to the database. Okay, so that's the client server. Check for user authorization. So definitely the server will check first. You log in, I log in. Okay, accept and checks the syntax of user inputs. You log in and I log in. So I was authorized and you also was authorized. Once you are correct, you cannot go into SPMP because your data will be taken out from the server. Okay, so that is checks for user authorization. Accept and checks the syntax of user inputs. Okay, process application. So you wanted to process application. So server ensures data integrity and security. So it checks the data integrity and also security. Okay, if you want to do any application, okay, the data integrity and security is taken care. You accepts and checks the syntax of user input. That means whether you are authorized user or not. Okay, but certain thing like Lazada, Asia, you only need to log in. Okay, but still without login, you can just go into it and check. But they will request you to log in. Okay, generate database requests. Generates database requests. So perform queries and updates. So the database, the server will do that queries and updates and give you whatever data you are requesting for. Okay, client receives results from the server and format results. Okay, if I ask my students name list, so they will just give me the name list, the whole name list. tier client, two-tier client architecture. After that, I also talk to you about three-tier, three-tier client architecture. Okay, so that one involve one presentation layer, correct, same like that, presentation layer, where you have your server, your PC, your laptop, and so on. Then you will have your application layer. Okay, so if you look here, what is your application layer? You see here, your application layer is your server, another server, okay, which is used because it's web-based application. Okay, so we go back here. It's also another server which is not here. It's also used to process data. Okay, this application layer also to manipulate data. Okay, which do not have in two tier, so they can do more things. And finally, it is data layer. Okay, also your server. Okay, and here it's used for web-based. What is that? Web-based application. Sorry, web-based application. Even our SPMP is now web-based application. Huh? Okay, so, but it is in a small scale. This one is a very huge scale, and they also use the model of distributed model. They also use distributed model. Okay, so this is what I have covered with you for topic 1. Okay, this is topic 1. Huh? Topic 1. Okay, so now we look at some more theory. Okay, you see here. Okay, this one all we have done. Okay, now we are going into desktop and server category of DBMS. Okay, so you see here we have Microsoft Access, Fox Pro, FileMaker Pro, Paradox, Lotus Approach. You can also Google and find out more. This is called desktop database. You cannot use it as server. You see, Microsoft Access is something that all of you knew. Everyone will have, if you have Microsoft Office, you will have Microsoft Access. Okay, you can't use it as a server database. Microsoft Access is also a database, but you cannot use it as a server database. You have to use it as desktop databases. You understand? So this is desktop database. Desktop, what is desktop database? Desktop database are oriented towards single user, only you alone. My PC, I have my Microsoft Access, only I use. Okay, Ahmad has his own PC. He has Microsoft he has Fox Pro. Only he can use. He can't share it with anyone else. Okay, and someone else, who is that? Shailesh, he has Filmmaker Pro, so he has it in his desktop. Only he can use. So that is what we call this at desktop databases. Okay, it's for single user application. Okay, and resides on a standard personal computer, your laptop, your desktop, your Mac, for single user interfaces. Okay, so these are some of the examples. Okay, now we go into the database, server database. Server database, as I told you, our SPMP uses server database and many more. So example of the database management system that you can use. Example, okay, server database contains mechanism to ensure the reliability and consistency of data and are geared towards multi-user. You see, server is multi-user. Server is multi-user. Meanwhile, desktop is a single user. Can you see that? Single user application. So database for this one, and this one you should know lah. Okay, and this one, server database for multi-user application. And what are the software? Microsoft SQL servers, Oracle, IBM, DB2, all that comes under server database management group. Okay, example, I show you this. This is XAMPP. This XAMPP is MariaDB. Comes as MySQL language. We uses MySQL language MariaDB. Okay, as I told you, I have to start here. You can see my server, then I go here, go to the shell. This is to cprom. Okay, I remember the command exe. I will teach you also dash u root. Okay, so I got this MariaDB there, none. Okay, so I want to show databases. So you have to remember the command. So these are all the databases that I have. So I want to use database. Let's say I want to use database Polytechnic. So you see my this one has changed to Polytechnic. Can you see it has changed to Polytechnic? So I want to show you how many tables are there. So you have to remember all these commands. So I have grade, I have kursus, I have pelajar, I have unit. So I want to see what is there. So what I'll do, I will select. Okay, so these are the pelajar, nama pelajar, kod kursus, HPNM. So I nak juga tengok apa pula yang ada dalam table. Apa pula yang ada dalam table khusus, I pula letak macam ni, select. So this is query, you know. I'm as a user, I'm querying the database. Okay, so I did this table, so I'm querying the database. Select from kursus. Let's say pelajar lah. It will show this is Chong, this is Maniam, Azura, Zarina, Sally. Okay, major apa? Taraf aktif, umur dia berapa. So semua tu kita boleh tengok. Ini adalah table. Okay, seperti yang saya bagi tahu, database adalah table. So saya akan bagi tahu kamu semua ni. So bila you nak guna, kalau you nak gunakan, you boleh gunakan mula-mula dengan MySQL. You tengok ni. I type apa tu dulu? MySQL.root. Okay. I don't know whether can copy or not. Cannot. Okay, mysql.exe space dash u space root. So bila you tekan ni, you dah pergi kepada MariaDB none show database. Okay. So dia akan show database lah. I akan klik dekat you dekat sini. I akan masukkan dalam WhatsApp. So you orang boleh tengok lah apa yang you orang boleh buat. Okay. Tapi mungkin you tak ada lagi database. So kalau you nak mula create database baru, okay, database, okay. Okay, you boleh gunakan ni lah. You boleh tengok dekat sini. mysql.exe space dash u dash root. Okay, so you boleh guna ni. So untuk create table, you kena guna untuk create table, you kena guna ni. Create itu you kena create database dulu. Create database dulu. You kena create database dulu. Nanti I akan bagi you lah worksheet yang tu. You boleh cuba database DDT2A. Colon enter. Untuk create table, create let me try first. Okay, nanti saya akan ajar kamu lah. Okay, saya bukan nak takutkan you create table DDT. Okay. Okay. Mungkin salah kot I punya ni. Kejap. Wait, I check the command. I forgot the command. So boleh buat 2 3 tu dah cukup lah. Boleh masuk MySQL pun dah okey dah. Okey, sebab kita akan ada lab nanti. Okey, so you dah boleh masuk beberapa pun dah cukup dah. Okey. Oh no. When you want to create table is different. Create database, okay. Create database can. You can create database, that is correct, but create table cannot. Create table you have to have the whole command, then only you can create. Sekarang apa yang I nak you buat balik nanti, you dah install, semua dah install ke XAMPP ni? Semua dah install ke? Siapa belum install lagi XAMPP? Siapa yang belum install lagi XAMPP? Siapa belum install lagi XAMPP? Semua dah?
Dah.
Semua dah?
Dah.
You punya version berapa ya? You orang punya version berapa? Sebab saya punya, kalau you lihat dekat sini, saya punya XAMPP version dia 3.2.4. Yours is 8 point something, right? So bila you nak mula, you tengok dekat sini ya, you start yang ni Apache dengan MySQL ni, dia dalam keadaan start ni, you kena stop. You kena mulakan dia, you kena startkan dia tau. Lepas tu you pergi kepada shell. Faham? Lepas tu you pergi kepada shell. Pertama you pergi kepada ni dua, Apache, MySQL dan shell. So bila you tekan shell, you akan dapat prompt ni. So bila you dapat ni, I keluar dulu ah. I tekan shell ah. I dapat ni, you tekan mysql.exe dash u root. No double colon lah. Okay, you dah dapat ni. Sekarang you nak create database. Okay, I nak create database DDT2A. Wait ah. Okay, wait. Create. Okay. Database DDT2A. Okay, so I dah create. So I can use database, use DDT2A. Okay, tengok. Dia dah jadi. So, kita dah create satu database. So, dalam database tu kita akan create table. So, yang ini adalah MySQL language. Okay. Yang ini adalah server base juga tapi kita gunakan untuk desktop lah. Just sebagai simulator saja kita gunakan ya. So, you tengok dekat sini. MySQL server tapi yang ini untuk desktop base lah. MySQL XAMPP ni untuk desktop base. Tapi you boleh buat dia dan you boleh connect dia untuk kepada web base. Okay, you boleh connect dia kepada web base MySQL XAMPP ni. Okay, faham ah? So itu adalah kategori-kategori dia. Kemudian benefit of desktop database. Kenapa desktop database? Database ni kalau you nak guna untuk desktop, you guna je lah yang simple-simple saja macam Access, Excel semua. I mean Excel is not a database, Access you boleh. Tapi user friendly, offer web solution, lower cost. Okay, macam XAMPP lah. XAMPP user friendly. A user does not need to understand SQL in order to use them. It usually offer an easy to navigate graphical user interface. Okay, betul tau. You tengok yang ini adalah command kan. Kalau I pergi kepada XAMPP ni ya, kalau I pergi kepada admin. Okay, kalau I pergi kepada admin ya. Okay. So, okay, kita anggap XAMPP ni dia adalah desktop base ya. So bila I pergi kepada sini, I dapat yang very easy one, you know. I will get, you see, a user does not need to understand SQL. If you want to use this one, you no need to understand SQL. You see, I got DDTA2A. So I can just name, I can put lah, I can put Brittany, okay. Oh, sorry, create table. So I want create table what? Database, database satu, column 4, go. Okay, so I already created table. I already created table. So what are the things that I want? I want name of student, name of student, then I want their matrix number, I want their address, oh no, I want their email address, and then I want their phone number. Okay, so I can create. This is very easy. You no need to know the SQL command. That's why they say, that's why it's told you here. You see, a user does not need to understand SQL, but you also must remember that we have two format here. So I will also teach you this format and also teach you this format. This is, you no need to know SQL. This one, you need to know SQL command. Okay, you need to know SQL command in order to create. If you want to create here, I give, because that's why I don't remember. So let's say I want to create here, create, that's why I couldn't create, right? Create table DDT2A2. Okay, and then I have to have this one, then I will have to have name, uh, name will be variable character, okay, and not null, okay, and then I will have your v number, matrix number, matrix number, integer, oh no, variable character also. This is your variable, your data type, okay, 35, not null. This is the command, this is the command. Then I have your maybe your phone number, your phone number, integer, okay, not null. And then I also have to set primary key. Primary key, what will be my primary key? It will be your matrix. Later I'll teach you number, matrix number. Primary key matrix number. Okay, it is showing error because it might have some error. Okay, but you have to rectify this error. It doesn't matter, later we can. So once I put in all this, only I can create a table. This is where you learn the MySQL language. But here you don't need to learn. You don't need to learn. You just put 30, you just put data type, name you just put variable character, matrix number you put integer, length, whatever length you want to put, you can put. Okay, and then email address, you put it a variable character, phone number you put integer, you want to specify, you can specify 40, okay, and then that's it. Null or not null, okay, we see here. Okay, which one we want to set it as primary key? This one. Okay, primary key. Example lah. Okay, go. So the table is been created. Okay. Check. Okay, here also get error, but never mind. That error is a very minor error, not like this error. This error you have to do few times, then you will can rectify the error. Okay, so that is the difference between that is what they want to tell. User friendly, offer web solution. Okay, SAM also can use for web solution. It also can be used for web. Okay, so you can also use it for browser. Okay, you can also use it as a browser under the web. Okay, it offers web solution. Okay, provide web solution so that the user can publish data onto the web in various fashions, and then lower cost. The cost is lower than the server database. Okay, and then finally the benefits of server solution: flexibility. APIs, application programmer interface, can used for rapid development of custom application, providing users with a low with a lot of flexibility, powerful performance, benefit of server database, powerful performance, and then security. So these are the benefits of desktop database and server database. Okay, and what is the server, what is the DBA function? Even last week class you have explained in detail what is DBA function. Okay, database administrator, as I told you, most of you can become with a diploma level, you can become also a database administrator. It is a highly sought job currently. Okay, is a key person and takes care of most administrative tasks such as managing information contents, liaising with users, so they will liaise with the user. Okay, you if you work as this, you will liaise with the user and ask what is the user's requirement. If the user want a different um, application, so you have to give them. Okay, enforcing security and integrity user, strategizing backup and recovery. So all these are under your monitoring performance. And then you have database designer, design the database elements. Okay, they will design the elements of the database. Okay, and then application programs make use of the various database element and write programs. So the database designer, they will go to, let's say previously we were using a manual kind of hospital system where they will have filing system. Okay, now this database designer, they will go and check out what they can do, how they can come up with the design to make it a computerized database system. So that is the work of the database designer. And then application programmer, this database designer will give whatever information and they will design and pass it to the application programmer, and the programmer will develop the software for the hospital users, let's say lah. Okay, and then we are the end user. Okay, the end user is the patient and the doctor in the hospital system case. Okay, so that's all the end for today classes. But what is your task is, you have 1 more hour to go, so I'm going to go offline now. Okay, you can go into this workbook. You have, right? I've given you even in your, I've given you in your WhatsApp. Okay, you go to the first one, fundamental of database. I want you to do the fundamental of database. This is all the answers. What is database? You answer that. Okay, I don't want to show you the answer. I have the answer, so I'll discuss with you. Okay, I forgot to open the questions. Okay, so the first question, what is database answer? What is database management system answer? I want you to be in the same group like what you did the other day. Okay, so you will have 3 people in a group. I want you to do what is open source software, what is licensed database software. You can Google and find out. So we have open source, like the same, this same is open source software. Like Microsoft Access, like Microsoft Access is a paid software because Microsoft you have to pay. So there is license and open source. Okay, what you already know what does ANSI Spark stands for. I already told you, American National Standard Institute. Okay, and then you write it down. Write the correct scheme for the explain what is the answer here. Storage, you know what is that? Huh? User view, you know what is user view. Okay, so you write it here, all these. And then client server architecture, file server architecture, database server, 3-tier. Explain about that. Okay, here you have to category this one, whether this is identify the category of whether this is server or desktop. Okay, you know this is desktop, this is server, so you have to identify that. Okay, and what is this? Okay, list what is the contribution of database in business, in education, in social work, like I think like Facebook, all that can come under social. Okay, so this will be your task for today. I want you to finish it in a group and upload it in CDOS by 5 o'clock today. Is it okay?
Buat sampai mana, madam?
Buat sampai topik 1 je lah. Sampai habis. Sampai daripada muka surat 3. You tengok muka surat 3 sampai muka surat. Saya tak suruh you habiskan semua. Sampai muka surat 9 ni. Semua yang you belajar saja. Boleh?
Boleh, madam.
Boleh ya. So saya bagi 1 jam untuk buat tu. You ada 1 whole hour to do that. Okay. Any question class?
Madam,
Yes.
only one person need to hand in, right?
Yes. Whatever group work, you must understand only one person need to submit. Like just now, you all submitted only one person, right? So only one person need to submit. You follow the same group. I think you are comfortable with that group. You stick to that group. Any other questions? Yeah, Kabina.
Please, can you extend the time?
Yes. Why?
Because I have some work to do.
But you have class, right? Until 5.
Yeah,
so if I
but
continue the class until 5, what you will do? Kabina? So I'm not going to extend the time. I'm giving you until 5 because my time is until 5. Okay? Is it okay? I'm not taking your class hours or other activity hours. I'm just taking my class hour 1 hour. Okay? Any question? Kavina, is it clear?
okay, madam. Okay.
Because I'm giving by 5. That's why I'm giving you until 5. Because you're going to do it in a group. You divide 3 pages per person also, you can finish it. Okay, so I don't want to talk more. I want you to do it and send it to me. Okay, I will create a serious group. So only one person send in a group. Dashini, you can go into any group that you want. Okay. Maybe 24 of you, right? So 3% in a group, you will have 8 groups. 8 times 3, correct or not? So stick to 8 times 3. Yours is genap-genap 24 orang. So saya rasa tak ada masalah lah. Okay. So any question? Can I stop now? Wait, don't go out first. I want to take picture. So far, any question?
No, madam.
No. Okay, good. At least someone is answering. Okay. Okay. So I will see you Thursday. And I want you to pass out the thing by 5 o'clock. I'm going to set it now. Okay, bye. See you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. And see you on Thursday.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
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 Thank you, madam.